Hello, my good people, and thank you for joining this lesson. This is Distinction KJSEA Assessment Test, that is Integrated Science Grade 9. I hope you will stay up to the end so that you can learn and gain more. So to start with, the first question reads, the diagram below represent the female reproductive system. Use it to answer questions 1 and 2. So we have our diagram here. We need to use this diagram to answer questions 1 and 2. So the first question is asking, the part labeled M is known as, we can see our part labeled M is pointing here. So the name is called the uterus. So other books call it the womb. So it is the uterus or the womb. So for part 1, the answer is C. Part 2, fertilization takes place in the part labeled. So we know that fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube or the oviduct. So when you come here, this is where fertilization takes place. So it is K. So it takes place in part labeled K. So that is the correct answer. Number 3, during a lesson to identify common hazards and their symbols, learners observed various symbols. Which one of the following symbols represent corrosive substances? So we're going to understand these symbols. So the first one stands for flammable substances. So that is not the answer. The second one stands for irritant substances. This means these substances can cause irritation. Part D, the symbol stands for health hazard. And therefore, the correct option for corrosive substances is B. You can see clearly, you have some test tubes there, a metal in the hand. So it has eaten the metal and therefore it can corrode your body. So it is corrosive, represent corrosive substances. Number 4, why are atoms considered electrically neutral? Why are atoms considered to be neutral? This is because we know that for every atom, the number of protons equals the number of electrons. The protons are the positively charged, they have a positive charge. The electrons, they have a negative charge. So when the two are equal, then it is considered to be neutral. And therefore the answer is atoms have equal number of electrons and neutrons, not true. Atoms have equal numbers of protons and electrons. So protons, they have a positive charge. Electrons have a negative charge. So when the two are equal, then the atom is said to be neutral. Number 5, which one of the following set shows the correct chemical symbol for each of the given elements? So here we have the following element. We have hydrogen, we have nitrogen, we have aluminium, we have silver. So we're going to look at which one has the correct chemical symbol. So you know that hydrogen is H, this one is correct. Nitrogen is capital N, correct. Aluminium, capital A, small l, correct. Silver, capital A, small g. And therefore, number option A is the correct option. Number 6, given that the total magnification of an image is 200, so we have times 200, and the eyepiece lens magnification is times 10, calculate the objective lens magnification power. You know that the total magnification M, you can say, magnification M is equals to the eyepiece magnification, you can use EM, multiplied by the objective lens magnification. So this is the formula. So here we have 200, that is the magnification is 200. So 200 is equals to the eyepiece magnification is 10 multiplied by the objective lens, which you don't have, you can call it X or OM. So to get OM, we're going to divide it by this side by 10 and this side by 10. So I can see 200 divided by 10, it is 20, and therefore my magnification is times 20. And therefore the correct answer is part C. Number 7, which of the following changes occur in both boys and girls during adolescence? So we underline the word both boys and girls. So it occurs for both boys and girls. So part A, Experiences menstruation? No. Boys don't experience menstruation. So that is incorrect automatically. Part B, chest widens, true for boys. What about voice breaks for girls? No. So that is not true, not true. Part C, breasts enlarge are not true because boys don't have big breast. Part D, pubic hair grows. Yes, true. And for girls also pubic hair grows. So the correct answer is D. That is for both boys and girls. Number 8, a substance can exist as an element or a compound. Which one of the following substances consists only of compounds? So a compound has 2 or more elements. So this means it is combined, it has 2 or more elements. Good example is water. We know that the symbol for water is H2O. We can see this is a compound. Why? It has hydrogen and oxygen. Another compound is carbon 4 oxide, CO2. This is a compound. Why? You can see it has 2 elements. It has carbon and oxygen. So we're going to look at our option. Which one is a compound? Iron and water. This is not a compound. This is a compound, but this one is not a compound. So this is not the answer. Magnesium and iron, all of these are elements. So this is not the answer. Copper and carbon 4. This is an element. This is a compound. Not true. And therefore the answer is water and carbon 4 oxide. Number 9, an element T has a mass number of 23 and 11 protons. How many neutrons does it have? You know from this formula that mass number A is equals to Z, that is the atomic number, plus N, the number of neutrons. So mass number A is equals to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So this is the formula that we use to calculate maybe mass number, the atomic number, or even the number of neutrons. So we can see the mass number is 23. So you can say 23 is equals to, it has 11 protons. So atomic number is 11 or 11 protons plus N neutrons, which we don't have. So I can do a simple mathematics, take this 11 the other side. So I can see my N is 23 minus 11. So when you subtract these two, 23 minus 11, I get the answer is 12. And therefore, the correct answer is part B. So number 10, during a class discussion on energy transformation, this is grade 7 work, learners were asked to state the correct meaning of the process. Who gave the correct answer? So Faith, the safe use of different forms of energy, not true. You can hear the word transformation. Jack, the conversion of potential energy to kinetic energy, not true. But D. Felix, the application of different forms of energy, not true. This one gave that the conversion of energy from one form to another. So this guy is the correct one. So and therefore the answer is C. That is what we mean by energy transformation, is the conversion of energy from one form to another. Number 11, pressure in liquids decrease with increase in depth, not true. Increase with a decrease in depth, not true. Is equal at all heights, not true. Increases with increase in depth, this one is the correct answer. Why? Because if you have a container, for example, then the container has some holes. Then here you have water. We know that the hole at the bottom, the water will jet out at a very, the distance will be higher or far compared to this other. Why? Because as you go deeper, the pressure increases. So pressure in liquids increases with increase in depth. As you go down, pressure in liquid increase, and therefore the answer is 11. But the answer for 11 is B. Number 12, learners classified sources of energy as renewable. In renewable sources, each one of the following pairs was correctly classified. So renewable sources, these are sources which don't run out. They are replenished naturally. This means When you use it today, tomorrow you'll find it. They'll never run out. This is what we mean by renewable. And renewable, this is when the energy sources, when they are used, they are replenished. They run out. So we're going to look at the options. So which one is the correct one? Natural gas is an renewable source. This is true. What about solar? This is not unrenewable. It is a renewable, but therefore this is not correct. Wind, the renewable. Hydroelectric, not. This is renewable. So the correct answer is D. Geothermal is renewable. Coal is not renewable. Therefore, correct answer is D. Number 13. Use the diagram below to answer question 13 and 14. The part that transport urine from the kidney is represented by letter. You know that it is Q, also called as the ureter. Therefore, Q is the correct answer. Part 14. What is the function of the part represented by P? P, the name is kidney. The function of the kidney is to filter waste product from the blood, and therefore the answer is B. Correct answer is B. So we have two other parts. R is also known as the gallbladder. It stores urine temporarily. Then S is also called as the urethra. So number 15. During an experiment on properties of a magnet, a learner suspended the magnet as shown below. So in which direction did the bar magnet align? So we know that for any magnet has two poles. It has a north pole and a south pole. So if you have any magnet, the magnet is going to align itself in this direction, north, south. Therefore, you come to the options, you look for north, south, and therefore the correct answer is C. Any magnet, if you align it, you suspend it freely. It aligns itself in north-south direction due to these poles, the north pole and the south pole. Number 16. DC was asked to name sources of renewable sources of energy. Understand this statement, sources of renewable sources of energy. What will be the correct response? So which one is the source of renewable source energy? So the oil, not true. Natural gas, not true. Rocks, no. And therefore the answer is B. Wind. Wind is a source of renewable source of energy. Magnesium has 12th element. What is the electron arrangement of magnesium? Magnesium, its atomic number is 12. So when you are writing the electron arrangement, that is the electron configuration for 12, remember you start with the first energy level, which maximum of 2 electrons. Then you go to the next one. The rest carries 8, 8, 8. So the next one carries 8. 8 plus 2, 10. And the total are 12. So we are remaining with 2. Therefore, this is the electron arrangement 2, 8, 2. Therefore, the answer is B. Number 18. Distilled water is an example of soft water because it lathers easily with soap. Which among the following is also an example of soft water? So we know that we have hard water and soft water. That is a grade 9 work. Borehole water, not an example of soft water. Water from the river, no. This one, no. So, and therefore, the correct answer is rainwater. Rainwater is also an example of soft water. The following are properties of a state of matter. Each one is not the correct property of solids. Solids have fixed volume, true. They have definite shape, yes. Solids are incompressible, true. They flow. Solids don't flow. Solids, they will never flow. So this is the correct answer. Solids don't flow, and therefore the answer is part C. Number 20. There are two types of changes that substances undergo. Which one of the following sets consists of chemical change only? So chemical, easiest way to understand chemical changes, you can say these are the changes that cannot be easily reversed. So that is the best which you can use. So you come and look for the one which you cannot reverse it. For example, freezing of water, you can reverse it, but burning of firewood, when you burn a firewood, we get ash, you cannot reverse it. And therefore we want a consist chemical changes only. And therefore, freezing of water, is not a chemical. Therefore, this is not the correct answer. Fermentation of milk, rusting of iron, drying of wet clothes and rusting of iron, drying of wet clothes. So you can reverse it. It can be wet again. So this is not true. Melting of ice, you melt ice, and then when you freeze it, it can be ice again. So you can reverse it, and therefore the correct answer is B. When the milk ferment, cannot reverse it. When iron rust, cannot reverse it, and therefore the answer is B. Number 21. One of the challenges that girl experiences during menstruation is abdominal pains. Which of the following is the correct way of managing this challenge? Buying medicine without prescription? No. Taking home fluids? No. Doing strenuous activity? You need to harm yourself? No. And therefore you can seek medical attention from a professional. Number 22. Fires are classified based on their causes. In which class of fire does a bush fire belong? So I'm going to give you a mnemonic device, a song which I teach my students, where you say, all big cats dance keenly. So I'm going to repeat, all big cats dance keenly. You can write it somewhere. So this means all to stand for ash. Fire caused by things like wood, paper, clothes, which at the end of the day, you get ash. And therefore that is class A. Class B, all big, B, standing for boiling liquids. For example, you have petroleum, gasoline, and so on. So B is for boiling liquids. Class C, cats. So C from current. So C to stand for current. This is electrical fires. You have class D. D is dance. D to stand for dangerous metals. So fire caused by dangerous metals such as magnesium. K, the last one, to stand for kitchen fire, caused by things like cooking fats, cooking oil, etc. So you are going to look at class of fire does a bush fire belong. So bush fire, end of the day, we have wood there, going to get ash, and therefore it belongs to class A. So this is class A fires. If you also want to understand the fire extinguishing method or the fire extinguishers used for different classes, also have another song. Let me know in the comment section. If you wish to know it, I'm going to do it in another video. Number 23. Which structure of the leaf take part in photosynthesis process? What is the role of the guard cell? So the guard cell are found around the stoma. So the function of the guard cell is to control the opening and the closing of the stomata, and therefore the correct answer is D. Number 24. The various forms of nutrition in animals. There are various forms of nutrition in animals. Which of the following statements describes symbiosis as a form of nutrition in animals? This is grade 9 work under heterotrophism. So what is symbiosis? Symbiosis, sorry for that. Symbiosis, A form of nutrition where an organism lives on the body of other living organism. Not true. A form of nutrition, part C, where an organism obtains nutrients from dead living matter. Not true. We call it saprophytism. Part D, a form of nutrition where an organism consumes solid organic food through the mouth or metabolism. Not true. This we call it holozoic, and therefore we remain with B. Therefore the correct answer is B. Is an association where two organisms mutually benefit from each other. Good example is nitrogen fixing bacteria, that is a leguminous plant, and the rhizobium bacteria. They mutually benefit from each other. 25. Sorry for that again. Which of the following diagrams represent an electric circuit in which the bulb would light? So we're going to look at what is the connecting. You can see here we have wood. Wood is a poor conductor, therefore it will not light. Plastic, poor conductor. Glass, poor conductor, and therefore nail, A nail is a good conductor of electricity, and therefore part C, the bulb is going to light. Number 26. An alloy is a substance formed by combining a metal and other element. Which metals combine to form an alloy known as duralumin? So for this case, I think there is no correct answer, because duralumin has four metals. It has copper, aluminium, manganese. Therefore, you can see only you have two. But for me, for this question, I'm going to leave it. Maybe if you know, let me know in the comment section. I think this question had a problem. Number 27. Which external structure of the leaf provides a large surface area for absorption of sunlight and carbon dioxide? So we're going to look at the options. Special is for support, therefore that is not the correct answer. I'm going to rub here. We have vein. No, not true. Vein has xylem and phloem vessels, which, for example, xylem transport the water from the roots to the leaf. Phloem transport manufactured food product from the leaf to other part of the plant. We have margin, the function of margin. Remember, we are talking about a large surface area for the absorption of sunlight. Therefore, margin not true. The answer is lamina, part B. 28. Softening is the process of removing the mineral salts that cause hardness of water. Which of the following method is not used to soften hard water? So you can use chemicals, true. You can use distillation method, distillation, yeah. You can use boiling, but filtration, you cannot filter to remove those elements. So filtration is not true. Therefore, the answer is A. 29. One of the methods of controlling rusting is by galvanization. Identify the element used in this process. What is galvanization? It is the process of coating iron with zinc. So if you know the definition, definitely you can see the answer is C. And therefore, the element used is zinc. Number 30. Osoro was asked to group elements as metals and nonmetals. Which of the following is a nonmetal? So how do you know metal? So we say metal, metals, the last electron in the outermost energy level is either 1, 2, or 3. Yes. So that is how you can know a metal. What about a nonmetal? The outermost energy level. So for metals, you can see you have the asking which of the following is a nonmetal. So copper is a metal, silver is a metal, brass is a metal. What about carbon? Carbon is not a metal, and therefore the correct option is B. So for this paper, I'm going to do section A. I hope you are getting something. If you'd like to have this paper, let me know in the comment section. You can send you through by WhatsApp. So let me know. Thank you for watching. I'm going to do another video for section B. Stay around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.